Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Divit, and in today's video, I'll be giving you a complete step-by-step guide on how to set up Google Ads conversion tracking for your Shopify store so that people can go and check out and buy your products, and then that information will be directly funneled into your Google Ads campaigns so that you can further optimize these campaigns. Now, this is a very beginner-friendly tutorial, so I'll go through all of the steps from start to end. And it's important to know that there's multiple different ways to do this, but the way that I'm going to show you, in my opinion, is the best and most recommended way to do it. So with that in mind, let's get right into it. Now, the very first thing we need to go ahead and do to get started is log into our Google Ads account. Once you're in your Google Ads account, go to your left to where it says Goals, select that, select the Conversion subtab, and then select Summary as your final tab. When you do that, you'll be directed to the summary page where we see this blue button which says Create Conversion Action. And that's the very first step we're going to complete, which is to create our conversion action on Google Ads. So let's go ahead and click this button. Once we do that, we'll be directed to this page over here. And right here, it's basically saying what conversions do you want to measure. And again, we want to go ahead and measure conversions on our Shopify store. So we're going to select conversions on a website. Once you have this selected over here, you can go ahead and press the continue option. And then right here, it says, what do you want to measure? And over here, we're going to go ahead and measure purchase. So this is a recommended conversion category that Google is telling us. We're going to go ahead and select it and press the setup option. So once you do that over here, the next step is to create a new event. And there's two different options to do this. You can do it codeless or manual. We're going to go ahead and select the manual option to give us full control over setting this up. So once we've selected manual, the next step is to actually give our conversion a name. So I'll just call this Shopify Conversion Tracking. You can call it whatever you want, just make sure it makes sense, and then press the Use Event option and press Save and Continue. So we can see right here that we've created a new conversion action, which basically means that this conversion action is put onto our Google Ads. However, we have to now connect it to Shopify to actually have both these platforms talk to each other. So that's where a bulk of the work is. Right now, it's just independently existing on our Google Ads platform. Now, to go ahead and finish setting up our conversions, there's multiple ways we can do this. We can use Tag Manager, we can set it up ourselves, we can send instructions to our webmaster. But again, like I said at the beginning of this video, we will do this ourselves manually. So very quickly, guys, before I show you how to do this, let me just tell you exactly what we need. So when it comes to Shopify talking to Google Ads, there's two pieces of code that you need. You first need something called a universal Google tag. This is basically a piece of HTML code that you need to put onto your Shopify website. And this basically connects Shopify to your Google Ads account. Okay, so this is a must-have necessary code that you need. Once you have that installed, the next piece of code you need is an event snippet, which basically means that we're telling Shopify that, beyond just the general tracking, we want to specifically track the purchase event on our store, which is again another piece of HTML code, which if you click here is this right here. So basically, long story short, there's two pieces of code that you need to put in, your Google tag and your event snippet. Now, one final thing I want to add over here is that both of these codes are provided to us in Google Ads in an HTML format. Now, however, HTML formats are not read well by Shopify. We need to convert this to JavaScript. Again, nothing is required on your end, no piece of coding. I'll give you the final piece of code that you can just copy and paste onto your Shopify store so that everything is set up properly. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and ignore this for now. I'm going to go ahead and press the Finish option. And when we do that, we'll be directed back to our summary page. And now we have our conversion action, which we just created, Shopify Conversion Tracking. So once we have this set up, the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is now connect this particular conversion tracking to our Shopify store. So to do that, we're going to go to our Shopify dashboard. So just log into your platform. And then once you're on your dashboard for your Shopify store, press the settings option in the left. So the bottom left right here. And then over here, we're going to go ahead and scroll to where it says customer events. And then here, we're going to go ahead and add custom pixel. So here is where we're going to go ahead and add in our particular code for our conversion tracking. So go ahead and select it. Give your pixel a name. I'll just call this Google Ads Conversion Tracking. Once you have your pixel name in place, press the Add Pixel option, which will take you to this page where you can add the code. So you can go ahead and actually delete all of this default code, and we're going to go ahead and paste in some code right here. So I've added a link in the description, which will take you to this document where you can just go ahead and copy and paste this particular code. This is the exact code you need but based on everything we just talked about, this is the universal Google tag right here. And this is the purchase event that we talked about in JavaScript format so that Shopify can read it properly. All right, so this is a piece of code you need, and there's just a couple tweaks you need to make. So we can see right here, right, anytime it says conversion ID, which is, as you can see, 3 times over here, we need to just go ahead and change that conversion ID to your specific conversion ID. And we need to do the exact same thing for your conversion label right here. So I'm just going to go and show you how you can find your conversion ID and conversion label by going back into your Google Ads account. So here is my conversion tracking I have set up. I can go ahead and click it. Here are some of the settings for my conversion tracking. So before I go ahead and change or talk about these settings, let's just go down to tag setup, click it. And then here where it says use Google Tag Manager, we're going to go ahead and select that. And here, Google Ads is providing us with our conversion ID and our conversion label. So all you have to do is take your conversion ID over here, copy it, go back to your Shopify store. Anywhere it says conversion ID, I'm just going to go ahead and remove that. Give me a second while I do that. Just take it out, put it in. Exact same thing here. Take it out, put it in. And conversion ID right here. Take it out, put it in. And then for conversion label, do the exact same step. Go back to Google Ads, take your conversion label. Let me just go ahead and copy the entire thing. And then go back over here and just paste it. Okay, so here we go. That's my conversion ID and conversion label pasted. You have to do the exact same thing on your end. And basically what you're doing by pasting in this particular ID and label, you're telling Shopify and Google Ads that this is the conversion ID for my Google Ads account that I want to go ahead and track for my store. So once you have all of this stuff set up, you can go ahead and press the save option to actually create the pixel. And once you've saved it, the next thing you can do is go ahead and press the connect option to just go ahead and connect it to your particular store and your Google Ads account. And now we have our pixel created. So now you've gone ahead and done everything that you require to connect these two platforms and track it all together. The final step I want to go ahead and talk about over here is if we go back to customer event, we can see now we have a Google Ads conversion tracking connected. You can go ahead and disconnect it. You can go ahead and delete it. You can even go ahead and test it by making a test purchase. And if we go back to our Google Ads account over here, there's a couple of different settings I want to very quickly talk about over here on the actual conversion tracking. So if you press the edit setting option here, over here, source is website, keep that as is, count. Now this is important to note that over here, you want to go ahead and have every count, basically, which means that anytime somebody purchases a product or every time somebody purchases a product, it counts as a conversion as opposed to just one where if they purchase once and come back purchase again, it won't count again. Okay, so just have this selected as is. For your click-through window, you can keep it at 90 days. Basically, if they go to your store in the next 90 days, if they make a purchase, this counts as a particular conversion. If you want to go ahead and shorten that time window, you can do that to, for example, 30 days, 2 weeks. But generally speaking, I recommend having 30 days or 90 days. Okay, so you can go ahead and choose on your end. Everything else over here, guys, you can keep as is. It's not really important. The stuff that's primarily important is for your count. You want to have every conversion. You just want to make sure your click-through window is set to where you want it to be. And then for value over here, for example, you want to go ahead and say use different value for each conversion. You do not want it to be the same value simply because if you have different products that have different prices, like $1,000 watch or $10 watch, $20 watch, that data that people purchase is then transmitted to your Google Ads account. Okay, so that's what I have selected over here, and that's what I recommend most e-commerce stores do. So with all of that in mind, guys, these are all of your settings for your conversion tracking. Now you've connected to your Shopify store, you have your code in place, everything is good to go. I've provided the document over here that you can just go ahead and copy and paste from the description and just convert it by yourself by adding your conversion ID and label, and you're good to go. So on that note, if you enjoyed this video, everyone, go ahead and press the like button and share it with your friends. And if you're interested in more content like this, then go ahead and check out my tutorials on Shopify, Google Ads. And as always, go ahead and press the subscribe button. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and bye for now.